Here's how to create contact forms on your WordPress website using Elementor. All right, so contact forms are great because they are how website visitors become leads for your business. And leads are awesome because those have the potential of converting into sales, whether that's a booking for your musical act or a purchase of your online course. We love leads, and contact forms are a great way to turn your visitors into them. All right, so the prerequisite is that you have WordPress hosting. And if you need WordPress hosting, just reach out to us and let us know. We will provide you a free WordPress hosting plan with your Book Live subscription. And then you'll also need to log into WordPress. So go to the WordPress dashboard. It'll look something like this. And then we need to navigate to the page where you want to add your contact form. So hover over Pages and go to All Pages. Feel free to create a new one if that's what you're trying to do. I'm going to add a contact form to my contact page. So I've identified the contact page, and now I am going to hover over it and click Edit with Elementor. I do not want to use the standard WordPress editor because I need the contact form built into Elementor. So I click on that. It will take about 30 seconds to a minute to load. And I'm going to show you two methods of how to add a contact form to your website. The first method is I'm going to show you the Book Live lead capture form because the Book Live software provides an amazing lead capture form that connects to Book Live's customer relationship management tool so you can automate your follow-up to that lead and give you a higher chance of booking that gig. So inside of Book Live, if you log in to Book Live and you go to your Acts dashboard, you will see on the left a marketing tab, and then inside of that tab, website widgets. So click on that, and then you will see what's called the lead capture form. You'll notice you're getting some custom code. Don't worry about trying to understand that code. All you need to do is copy it to your clipboard. You can click the button to copy to your clipboard or right click and copy, and that will help you copy that to your clipboard. Then we're going back to Elementor on your contact page, and the first thing I suggest is adding a container to this page. You may wish to add something like a header saying that this is the contact page, but for the purposes of this demonstration, we're just going to go right for it and add that Book Live lead capture form directly to this page. The way to do that is by clicking on the 3x3 grid of all modules and then searching for the HTML module because we're adding custom code. Drag that HTML module to that newly created container and drop it. And then inside of the editor for this HTML code editor, right click and paste that custom code. And that instantly creates this nice lead capture form specifically for booking a gig for a musician. And then you could be done here and just click update, and that will publish your contact form to your website, which is fantastic. However, if you didn't want to use Book Live's lead capture form, say you wanted just a more typical contact form, we're going to delete that. And in this container, we are now going to search for the form module. So the form module, if we drag that here, that is a more typical website contact form that has name, email, and message. And this would be a great contact form. This would be useful in 99% of circumstances. However, you can customize all of these different fields. So say you wanted to change name to full name. All you'd have to do is click on name, and then the label here is right there, and you would change that to first name, and you can see it customizing as I'm typing. You can change the placeholder, which is the text that's inside it, to something like type your full name here. You can also make certain fields required or optional. Typically, the name field is optional. The email field is almost always required. And then message, say you didn't even want a message at all, you can click this X to delete that message field. But we typically want that, so I'm going to undo that and leave the message field there. You can also add items. Say you wanted to do like a date picker or something. So for example, we would pick the type is date, label would be like event date, placeholder, enter the date of your event here, and so forth. You can also set what the minimum date is, so say it's today. Maximum date, say you don't want to book further than 2 years into the future, you could navigate there and end it at the end of 2025, and so forth. You can customize all of the other options by changing input size, and you can put a little required marker. I recommend that because that makes it clear next to email that that field is required. You can also customize the look and feel of the buttons. So we can make that button large. We can change the words that are on it. Typically you could ignore next and previous because most contact forms only have one button. You can change the button submit to, contact us now. And then let's close that because there are a couple other things that we need to know about this contact form, which is actions after submit. This tells WordPress what to do when somebody submits it. And the default is 2 different actions. The first is collect submissions, where it will aggregate all of your submissions into a place where you can find them in the future. And then the second thing is to send an email, which it will email you that somebody has submitted your form. You can remove these options, or you can even add other options. And we'll go into that in another video. But you may wish to customize these things, such as, collect submissions. There's not much to customize. It collects the user's IP address and what browser they're using. But in the email collect option, this is where you definitely will want to change the email address of where these emails go. So put the best email address for you right there. You can customize the subject line that you'll see in your inbox when somebody submits it. And then the message, it will default put every single field inside of your from the form submission into that email. So I typically leave most of that as is. I just make sure that the to field goes to a good email address for you. And then there are additional options there. Custom messages like thanks for submitting. You can change all of that here by toggling that on. And then you can stylize and customize it by clicking the Style tab here. I typically don't change much of the styling other than maybe changing the color of the button. So for background color here, you can customize that by dragging the color wheel to where you would like it to be. And then click Update, and that will save this new contact form on your website. So those are 2 ways of how to create contact forms on your WordPress website using Elementor.